Welcome to Across the Gulf Coast, highlighting organizations, events, and people from around our local community.
Hello, I'm Cam Johnson, Public Affairs Manager for Cox Communications. I'd like to welcome you to another great episode of Across the Gulf Coast. We're doing something a little different this month. Instead of being in the studio, we're going to take you out into the community to see some of the sites and locations around town where these events are being held. Of course, as we plan to do that weeks in advance, we had a cold front run through last night, so the wind's a little strong this morning. Hopefully you can still hear us fine. And as we talk about a lot of great events going on up and down the Emerald Coast, we're starting off, as you can see, at Maritime Park in downtown Pensacola, home to the Blue Wahoos and also home to a lot of great events in Pensacola that we have throughout the year. And we're going to talk about one first. It's not actually at Maritime Park, but it is here in Pensacola, and that's with the Children's Home Society, and they have a great event called the Soundside Splendor coming up. And joining me now to talk about that are Lindsay Cannon and Jessica Jensen. Ladies, thank you both so much for braving the cold with me and coming out here today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So Lindsay, tell me a little bit about Children's Home Society and what you guys do here in Northwest Florida.
Well, Children's Home Society is the largest nonprofit organization in the state of Florida. We have been operational since 1902, and it started with working with children that were put on the orphan trains and sent away from their families. And CHS was born there around the Jacksonville area to say we can do this better for our future generations. And so programming in this area is a huge spread. We do intervention services with families that may need some extra support around parenting. And who hasn't had a child and been stressed out? Parenting is a challenge for anyone, and especially some of our families that have multiple barriers to actually doing that successfully and just need some other help. So we have some wonderful programming for families in need in our community. We have CAWISE, which is our Community Partnership School, which is our latest initiative, which really embeds social services into the school to remove those barriers to children learning. So kids are not coming to school hungry, they're not coming to school without food. They have after school programming there, they have a health clinic, they have everything that they need right there in that hub for that community.
So you guys supply a lot of resources, a lot of programs, activities for families or people who need. So if somebody wants to get involved, whether they need help themselves or they want to get involved with you guys to give back, how can they go about doing that?
Well, there's a variety of ways you can get involved. Coming to our event, like Soundside Splendor, is a really great way to get an introduction to our organization. You'll hear throughout the night the different type of work that we do with youth, that we do with infants, that we do with school-age kids. You get to learn the full gamut. We have over 12 programs, so there's a lot of opportunity. It's really about finding where your heart is. For me, I love youth. Like, they're my favorite. Most people don't get frustrated with teenagers. I love them. They're some of the best challenge in the workforce right there, and I love it. So but really coming to the table and saying, this is what I want to do, whether that's volunteerism, whether that's giving financially to support certain things for those for the kids and those families, we have a place for you. It's just really coming and learning about all of the different things and where you can plug in.
What fits for you? And I have a teenager at the house. I might drop off.
Bring him to me. Bring him to me.
Absolutely. So Jessica, let's talk about the event coming up in a couple of weeks. Tell us a little bit about what's in store out of Portofino.
So we're so excited at Portofino Island Resort on Pensacola Beach. We're going to host the 14th annual Soundside Splendor. This year our honorary chair is so excited to offer his support in loving memory of Sabine Laguna. And we've got some wonderful chefs coming in, some incredible wine, and some live music, and just an evening of live auction and silent auction to raise some money for the children in our community and the Tri-County area.
Can you give us a date, time? We know the
Sunday,
location
May
already.
5th from 4 to 7 p.m. At Portofino Island Resort. There are sponsor tables still available, as well as individual solo tickets that people can come if they just want to come and enjoy the event. Make it a date night, bring your wife, come on out and enjoy the event.
Can you said some food and wine?
Yeah, we have individual chefs, so come in, chef stations, and then wine stations that are paired with all the different foods. We're going to have Chef Julio Lucero. We're going to have Chef Julio Lucero of Portofino Island Resort. Dan Dunn of Big Top Brewing Company. Of course, David Penniman, Classic City Catering. We're going to have, of course, Grand Marlin and Flounders with us as well. And Tony the Meatball Man from East Hill Market. Can't leave out Mr. Tony. And so we're super excited. Sundry
great.
more, and we're very excited to have him join us again this year for a wonderful event.
Yeah, it sounds like a great event. You said 14th annual.
It is, 14th
been
annual.
Very popular over the years. If
It's
people want to
grown.
get tickets, they want to sponsor the event, how can they go about doing that?
Well, they can go to our website, which is www.chsfl.org, or always check us out on our Facebook page. I think that's the best way to get up-to-date information about what's happening with our event. So just plug in Children's Home Society of Florida, Pensacola, and that will lead you right to where the tickets are and all the action that's going to be happening.
Awesome. Got about a minute left, but I do want to ask one more thing.
Sure.
We've talked about how people can get involved, but do you guys just take donations? If people have jackets or clothes or toys or things of that nature, or, do you guys take that type of donation?
Absolutely. We find that a lot of the needs that folks have in our community are generally those basic needs. Toys are always fun. We usually do a massive toy drive at Christmas,
end of the year,
and we really outfit our families at that point. But a lot of times it's socks and underwear. I mean, and not some of the more popular things. We prefer those not to be used. But just clothing, jackets, all of those things that take away from families providing their own basic needs. So if we can do those kind of things for them, we absolutely accept donations in that way.
Well, Lindsay, Jessica, thank you both so much for coming on the program today. Really appreciate it, and good luck with the event.
All right, thank you so much, Cam. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Stay with us. We'll be right back.